Hello, everybody. Samara Elle Riviera here. We're at the New York Times Travel Expo, and I'm here with a travel expert, Mr. Michael Luongo, author, travel expert. Tell us what you thought of this year's Travel Expo here in New York City.
So it was a great expo. There was a lot of buzz about different things. I think many of the booths were busy. I did 4 different talks and panels, so I was very busy. You can see I don't have much of a voice left. I'm not imitating Kathleen Turner at the moment. It just happens to be this way. And you see all of the activity as they take everything down around us. So clearly one of the big buzz things was this notion of the Muslim travel ban that was enacted on Friday at the opening of this show, and so that was a lot on people's minds. I had moderated the Middle East travel panel on Friday. Iran was on the panel, so this was also a very big deal. But I think what's interesting to me is that people still want to travel. They continue to travel. Various people here did tell me that they had very good experiences talking with people. I know as a panelist and speaking, we had a very curious people who stayed, who wanted to ask questions, who were very keen to hear the different things that we had to say. I was also on the ethical travel panel moderated by Marin Johns of Curve magazine, and about 10 people lined up to speak. We had to stop in the middle because there were just too many questions, and that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. It shows people very engaged, not just with the destinations and where they're going, but the issues in travel that come about on the panels.
Right. Especially now with our new president and all that. So it's my first time at the Travel Expo. What do you think would catch people's interest to come out here to the Travel Expo?
Well, I think whether you travel internationally, we're right by, for instance, the Nelson Mandela monument that's there because we're by South Africa. So whether you want to travel internationally to exotic destinations or whether you want to travel to parts of your own country, there are many different places that you can travel. So for example, I grew up on the Jersey Shore, so there were places from the Jersey Shore that were here. If you want to know more about New York City, there are places for that. So even if you're a tourist in New York, you can come and learn more about New York. So whether it's near or far, I think that's part of a song, there's a lot to learn here about various destinations. And even if you're a bit of an armchair traveler, there's lots of brochures and lots of things. You can always put something away as the dream that you want to, place that you want to travel to in a couple of years.
Yeah, a lot of giveaways, a lot of bags, a lot of goodies. So tell us, New York City. You know the slogan, I love New York.
Yeah.
What is your I love New York moment? Or moments, you personally?
God, I have so many. Kissing on the subway on a first date, and then the lights blink out for whatever reason on the subway, which can happen, but when you kiss a very handsome man, I'm gay, and when you kiss a handsome man and the lights, it must mean something.
Sparks.
The sparks flew and we shut the power out. That's how powerful the kiss was. So that has happened. An old boyfriend, my long-term partner from years ago, surprising me on my birthday to see Tina Turner at Radio City Music. I'm going to get nostalgic. Tina Turner at Radio City Music Hall, and then going dancing at the Rainbow Room after, which really was a wonderful, wonderful New York moment. He also was an escort for the stars at the Macy's Parade. So I would have Thanksgiving brunch really with the stars, which met Carol Channing that way. So there's so many New York moments, and I think one of the amazing things about New York is just seeing stars and famous people on the street. And I actually grew up in the suburbs. I'm from New Jersey, but this is the city that is our city. And I will always be amazed by Times Square, though it's changed so much since I was a child, good ways and bad. And it's just the notion of always looking up and all the new things and things. But also, what I love most about New York, the diversity. This is one of the most diverse places in the world. And I would say, for Donald Trump, who wants to end this diversity, you're a son of this city, and that you would do what you did about diversity is a shame, because you should have learned so much about diversity. And that, I think, is one of the most amazing things about New York. Anytime I'm traveling somewhere, there's always someone or someone who knows someone that can tell me about any country in the world that I'm going to. And that, I think, is one of the most spectacular things about New York.
Wow, you certainly lived a full life here in New York.
Yeah.
We got to get going, but really quickly, tell us about the books that you've written, mainly travel books, right?
Yeah, so there's about 15 books that I've written, depending on how you count them. So there are 4 guides to Buenos Aires with Fromers, 4 Argentina guides that I've contributed to Fromers, and then a South America book that I contributed to for Fromers. I used to edit for Hayworth Press. I had my own gay travel imprint, which was called Out in the World. So I edited several books with that, and some of them were my own, including Gay Travels in the Muslim World. I also had a novel with Allison Books called The Voyeur, which was a dark humor novel about sex and HIV research in Giuliani's New York. I don't know if you're old enough to remember the 1990s New York. So that was one of them. And then Gay Tourism, which is a textbook, essentially, that I co-edited that looked at the gay tourism industry and the gay travel world, and that was the first academic book on that subject back in 2002.
Awesome. Lastly, are you working on any new books?
There's some new books that I have to do the proposals for. Some of them are related to my current research at the University of Michigan, where I had a fellowship looking at tourism redevelopment in conflict zones. So some of them are related to the economics of travel as places recover from war. And another is World War II related, but again, these are all just in proposal stages. But I'm going to be working on those to get those all in order.
Awesome. Is there a website where people can find you or your books?
Of course. The best website is michaelluongo.com, michaelluongo.com. I'm not sure if I did the double L's when I said that, but
It's right there.
michaelluongo.com, michaelluongo.com. I'm on Twitter at Michael Luongo, at Michael T. Luongo on Instagram, and just Google me, you'll find lots of stuff.
Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much. It was a pleasure
Thank you
meeting
so
you.
much.
Mwah.
So wonderful to be on.